Hi, I came in contact with one of those caterpillars, those itchy worms yesterday and needed antihistamine shots. And, I'm very, very, very sleepy and have a rather vague idea as to what my own name is. So bear with me, please. Now, in 2022, I actually had the sort of most strict low-buy I've ever had in my life. I've never been through such a sort of restricted buying year before, where makeup is concerned. I know I bought a few clothes, I bought lots and lots of books, but where makeup, skincare, beauty is concerned, it was a very, very restrained year last year. So this year, let me tell you what my shopping plan is in brief. Basically, the most that I did was, do a bit of shopping for Black Friday and then buy that cohorted advent calendar. And the place where I bought the most things, was multi-chrome eyeshadows. Apart from that, there wasn't much, I bought the one lipstick last year, so proud of that. And I didn't really try much new, it was, you must have seen my best of 2022 videos, and most of them were, products that I've discovered in previous years, or products that were launched much earlier. And you must also have seen my haul video for 2022. Very, very restrained. So my first shopping resolution for 2023, right, 2023, New Year, is not to acquire foil sachets as far as possible, because there are certain places where you get hampers and things are sealed inside and you don't really know what's inside. You might end up with the odd foil sachet. But at counters, when they give you a few samples with purchase, I'm going to say, if that's a foil sachet, I don't want it, thank you. Because foil sachets, A, packaging bad for the environment, B, they sort of pile up there and don't get finished, and I don't really reach for them much. So I would rather, and they're a bit uncomfortable for me to use. You basically get enough to cover your pinky, and that's not enough you want to use properly to judge the product. So I won't be wanting, I'll do my best not to get foil sachets this year. Second resolution for me is not to buy any pre-made eyeshadow palettes at all, unless it's a fully shifter palette, fully duochrome palette, fully multi-chrome palette. Apart from that, I am not going to buy a single pre-made eyeshadow palette. Now, Boxing Day, around that time, the end of December, Sugar Drizzle Polish launched a couple of multi-chrome eyeshadow palettes, and I bought a fully holographic palette. Similarly, I also bought a mini palette from Magical Makeup UK, another indie brand. So yeah, that was Boxing Day sales and tail end of December. So right now I don't want to buy any palettes at all. But if purely multi-chrome eyeshadow palettes, purely duochrome eyeshadow palettes launched this year, I might consider it. Apart from that, no pre-made eyeshadow palettes for me going forward until I pan at least half a dozen palettes or something in one go, which is not going to happen. Now, I do, however, I intend to buy single shifter eyeshadows where you have single multi-chromes, single duochromes. To that end, I've already made my first purchase of 2023. Odin's Eye Cosmetics launched their Jewel Shine collection, and that has 12 multi-chrome eyeshadows. I bought 5 of them. Once they arrive, I will do a review. I will test them out and do a review. But that was a new launch. Yeah, apart from that, I don't see anything at all that I want to buy right now. However, come holiday season, come Black Friday and sales and things like that, I intend to look at Clionadh Cosmetics, possibly getting my first Clionadh eyeshadows. Clionadh, it is Clionadh, but apparently it's pronounced Clionadh. I've been eyeing their multi-chromes for a long time now. Apparently they are the OGs of multi-chromes. So I might look at their eyeshadows and, get a few this year. The other brand where I will look at new launches is the Pastel Roses UK. They are now my favorite eyeshadow brand, the Pastel Roses, because the formula is great, the shift is great, the eyeshadows are great, the shades are great, the innovation is great. And overall, the price is incredibly good and everything is sort of handmade in the UK. So I will be looking at what the Pastel Roses has in terms of new launches. So, I will definitely be making a conscious effort. And how am I going to do that? No pre-made eyeshadow palettes unless it's fully shifter. And even so, I'm going to look at all the shifter shades that I have And then if I've got dupes, avoid those. The thing is, I only wear multi-chrome eyeshadows even outside these days. This is a very neutral look from Lidl Cosmetics. Look at that. Very wearable. And it is, you know, I only wear something like this these days. And, you know, bolder shades as well for special occasions and filming. Only shifters, only multi-chromes. So what is the point? Or, you know, absolute neutrals, which I have a ton of. So what is the point in buying all those eyeshadow palettes? Now lipsticks, again, you know, masking is probably coming back with all these new variants and things. We're not in a post-pandemic era, no matter what the newspapers tell you. I won't be, you know, looking at lipsticks as such unless something incredibly good launches. And I really, it's a sort of have to have it or we'll pine away and die situation. The other thing I am avoiding completely in future going forward is fast makeup. You know, that's fast makeup is a trend that needs to go away, and is a phenomenon that needs to go away. Not because, you know, I'm a snob or anything, but because, you know, the environment. I think we need to be very careful about how much we consume and what we consume. Just because something is cheap doesn't mean we have to have it. Reducing consumption overall, and when you do that, spending a bit extra in order to avoid fast makeup, in order to reduce the demand for fast makeup. At the same time, I don't want to sound, you know, like I'm virtue signaling or anything. I mean, I acknowledge that most people buy things when they only see what they like. But the thing is, the fear of missing out is there. And we tend to like things a bit too often, isn't it? Especially when you really like makeup. I mean, it is preachy to say, you know, save up for a Natasha Denona palette or something. And, you know, when a much cheaper dupe exists. But I'm saying the question is, do we need a palette at all? That is what we should be asking ourselves. Do we need a palette at all right then? Unless, you know, you're treating yourself and, you know, you're in a space where that brings you a bit of joy, at least temporarily. I've been in that space. I started shopping only after my gramps fell ill, and more so after he'd passed away last year. And, you know, I had to shop because, you know, those packages coming in, they made me feel better, sort of cope with it or distract myself at least for that tiny bit of time. But, you know, the other point is that drugstore prices are rising. Drugstore prices have risen considerably over the last couple of years. And, you know, oh my God, that's drugstore. It's more like mid-end, I feel, you know. Some of those brands, and there are already huge margins. You know, they can afford to price makeup for less. Brands can afford to price makeup for less. I might also buy more Beija Flor, Sol de Janeiro Beija Flor cream, which I showed you in my Best of 2022 videos, come Black Friday, or, you know, the sales. I do have lots and lots of Bath and Body Works products, moisturizers left. So it isn't a compulsion, it isn't a have to have it. However, I like the formula so much. So maybe when, you know, there's Black Friday sales going on, 25% discount, 30% discount or something, I might buy 2 of these. I do, however, I intend to continue my hunt for a primer. Yeah, I bought the Bioterry primer and the Smashbox primerizer this Black Friday, and I didn't really love it. But I do want to try the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better primer base, and that I will buy during a sale, not at full price, never at full price again. I will also be running out of eyeliner, liquid eyeliner around that time, so I might buy a couple of eyeliners for 2024, come Black Friday. I have enough Hadalabo Kikumasamune for until Black Friday, no problem at all. I will look at the SK2 facial treatment essence around Black Friday because I absolutely adore SK2. I am, however, happy to see more affordable skincare brands. You know, skincare is becoming more and more affordable. Good to see. However, there have been price raises. Look at Dr. Dennis Gross. Everything's gone up. I can understand why. I mean, things are difficult. But the margins are already huge. That's the other side of it. You know, there are margins already anyway. Tricky situation, isn't it? I am well situated where skincare is concerned, particularly cleansers and things. So I'm not really affected by this, and I have very niche products that I use, and most of it is K-beauty these days anyway. And CeraVe and Avène and La Roche-Posay and Eucerin, sort of quasi-pharmaceutical products like that. So this, you know, I'm not too sort of worried about rising prices there. I might also try the Numbuzin skin toner. I've heard very good things about this. Apparently it's a dupe for SK2. If it is, you know, that's good. You know, at a very reasonable price. You get loads of product. So I might try Nimbus in and see if that works for me. So basically, where skincare is concerned, no buy, zero buy until October, no problem at all. November, I might have to buy some SK2 and Huda Labo for 2024. So that's, zero buy until October, unless, hear me out, there's something like the cohorted advent calendar coming this year. I might take a very close look at cohorted because, £48 plus postage. It was a very good deal, and there were some interesting products and lots of new things to try, very reasonably priced, and it was a very exciting advent calendar for me. So I might look at cohorted, but that said, I might also look at the customer care because I've heard some rather unpleasant stories. So in a nutshell, that is my shopping plan and what I intend to do, how I intend to, and my shopping resolutions for 2023 and how I intend to sort of budget and everything. What is your plan? Do you intend to go on a no buy or a low buy or something? And do you intend to shop at all this year? Is it during the holiday season? What do you intend to buy? Do tell me all of that in the comments below. I'd love to know. So that's all from me for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please do give me a thumbs up. Please do hit the subscribe button. Please do ring the notifications bell. I'll speak to you soon.